Good morning, I'm Sam Brock. Coming up next on Today in the Bay, assaulted at a park on the peninsula, how the victim was able to escape and why her calls did not go through to 911. Plus, one last hurrah, the final football game at Candlestick Park. Joe Montana looks to recapture his magic touch on the gridiron, but you may be surprised to learn who caught the game-winning touchdown. An early morning drizzle will give way to a warm-up in parts of the Bay Area. Rob Maeda joins us with your 7-day forecast. This is Today in the Bay.
From NBC Bay Area, this is Today in the Bay.
Almost 7:01 on your Sunday morning. Rise and shine. You're looking right now at a live picture of San Jose. A good Sunday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sam Brock alongside meteorologist Rob Maeda. Rob, it looked a little bit overcast in that image right there, but we can expect, in fact, a warm up.
Yeah, for places like San Jose this afternoon, we'll get clearing skies, but clouds coming up. We're talking temperatures in the upper 90s for a few spots tomorrow. We'll talk more about that and those other changes in your 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
So quite a swing depending upon where you live.
Absolutely. Summer microclimates.
Microclimates, of course, that's the area. Thank you so much, Rob. Okay, well, this morning, Palo Alto police are beefing up patrols at city parks after a woman reports being groped. Now, she managed to escape the suspect, but when she tried calling 911 on her cell phone, she couldn't get through. The attack happened Friday around 11:30 in the morning at Wherry Park on Dartmouth Street. This is not far from the Stanford campus. Yesterday, protesters in the North Bay blocked part of a busy Bay Area freeway. They are incensed over the DA's decision to not prosecute the sheriff's deputy who shot and killed Santa Rosa teenager Andy Lopez. The group marched on Highway 101 near the 3rd Street exit in Santa Rosa, where they were met by police in riot gear. This photo comes courtesy of the Press Democrat. PD briefly closed down the on-ramp until the protesters headed back to the old courthouse square where the earlier protest had begun. The DA says that Deputy Eric Gelhaus shot Lopez because Gelhaus believed the pellet gun the boy was carrying was an AK-47. Lopez's family is suing Sonoma County and that deputy. Well, they took to the field one last time, and like they've done so many times before, the greats of the San Francisco 49ers pulled out the win. The game was billed as the Legends of Candlestick. Thousands of fans came out to say goodbye to the NFL Hall of Famers and, of course, that historic stadium. Today, the Bay's Christy Smith spoke with the fans who were feeling, well, a bit nostalgic.
I come to a lot of games here.
Christy Smith, Today in the Bay.
A lot of mixed emotions for the Bay Area fans. As for who actually won that game, in true Candlestick Park fashion, a dramatic ending, but the hero of the game might not be who you're thinking of. This game came down to the last play. Joe Montana rolled to his right and finds who else? No, not Jerry Rice or Dwight Clark for that matter, but longtime Niners owner Eddie DeBartolo for the game-winning touchdown. The Beatles gave their final concert back in August of 1966. So many memories, of course, they will not be forgotten. Meanwhile, counting down to kickoff at the 49ers' new home, 6 VTA light rail stations are closed right now as Santa Clara County prepares to open up the new Levi's football stadium. This weekend's closure covers track between Tasman and Fair Oaks and includes the Great America Station. VTA is expanding its track through that corridor to try and handle the rush of Niners fans expected to come. Shuttle buses are covering that part of the line. Regular VTA service will resume again on Monday. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll take you out to Levi Stadium where we can get a preview of what's going on the menu. Very important question when those games begin. Much more ahead on Today in the Bay. Still to come, fighting in the Middle East intensifies. More rockets flying into Gaza and Israel. The latest on that conflict and the big Bay Area protest. Plus, pet insurance fraud. Who needs it? And what lawmakers in Sacramento are trying to do to put an end to it. We'll be right back. To a developing story now in the Mideast, Israel continues its aerial assault in Gaza today, ignoring international appeals for a ceasefire. Now, according to Palestinian sources, Israeli airstrikes early this morning targeted Gaza police headquarters and a branch of an Islamic bank in Gaza City. Gaza's police headquarters completely demolished, and hours after that attack, fire was still burning in the rubble of the building. Israel has carried out more than 1,200 airstrikes during its 6-day offensive to try and diminish Hamas's ability to fire rockets. Hamas, the Islamic militant group that controls Gaza, has said it would not be the first to cease fire.
You're watching Today in the Bay.
A bit of a hazy day right now to kick off your Sunday morning. It's 7:15 and a live picture of Levi Stadium, a venue we will all know very well, as in less than a month, the 49ers will have their first preseason game and get ready to kick off that stadium for the 2014 NFL season. Levi Stadium will officially open in less than a month. Now, the 49ers say the new home will be cutting edge. And surely you care about the technological bells and whistles. But even more importantly, what about the food? Stadium officials have opened their kitchen doors, where our business and tech reporter, Scott Budman, got an early taste of the new cuisine. First game is going to be August 17th against the Denver Broncos. We are all
coming up very
psyched
quickly
for that first preseason game.
Awesome.
Your outdoor experience today could really run the gamut from drizzly to downright hot, depending upon where you live in the Bay Area.
Yeah, on the coast, we're probably going to hang on to the mist and drizzle, but right now, all across the Bay Area this morning, waking up to low clouds, misty skies around the East Bay, over to San Francisco and the Tri-Valley this morning. Dublin seeing some mist as well.
You're watching Today in the Bay.
Welcome back. A Marin County man doing what he can to turn a personal loss into some public good. We should add, this is a story that is dear to our hearts. It involves a former colleague of ours. Ultimately, he wants to help her find a cure for ovarian cancer. But like any long journey, it has to begin with a single step. Today in the Bay's Garvin Thomas has this morning's Bay Area Proud.